Today on Stock Charts in Focus, in honor of our next big product release rolling out around the site next week, we're going back through this past year. We're going to cover my top 5 favorite features that we have released on Stock Charts this year. We're going to show you how to learn more about each one. We're also going to highlight each one and show you how I'm personally using them in my own approach to the markets. We're going to have a lot of fun. We're also going to give you an exclusive sneak peek at some of the things that are coming out starting next week on Stock Charts. Plus, we're going to remind you, you can get up to 3 free months of Stock Charts right now. So we got an action-packed show. Of course, you know what it is. It's all new. It's all here. It's Stock Charts in Focus. All right, my friends, welcome to the show, Stock Charts in Focus. Of course, our product focus show here on the channel where we dig into the site, dive into the tools, show you around the features, and ultimately help you get more value out of Stock Charts. That is our mission here on this show. Every Friday, 3 p.m. Eastern Time up on the live channel. Also up on our YouTube channel after that, and the on-demand platform at StockChartsTV.com. Just like all of our Stock Charts TV shows, you got a lot of ways to watch. My name is Grayson Roze, Vice President of Operations here at StockCharts.com. It is great to be back with you for another show. Can't believe it, but one of our final shows of the year. We're really getting down to it in December here. We've only got a couple more weeks, believe it or not. But in classic Stock Charts fashion, we are not done yet. We've got some huge things coming to the site next week with our next big product launch. We've been doing these throughout this year. We've kind of changed the way that we're releasing new features on the site this year. Our team is trying something new, batching things up into these product releases that we've been doing every couple of months. We've done 2 of those so far. We had a spring product release. We had a summer product release. Now, right at the end of the fall, technically, really kind of the winter, but right at the end of fall here, we're rolling out another product release on the site. Brand new features coming to Stock Charts that, of course, are going to help you see the markets more clearly, more data, more tools, more visualizations, lots and lots coming to the site. Now, we are going to give you a little bit of an exclusive sneak peek at what's coming out next week. Of course, we'll use the next few episodes of this show as well to go over some of those new tools, make sure that you know everything that is there. And we're going to have a helpful release notes page, which is actually what we're going to preview today. That'll make sure that you've got all the information that you need on all of these new features. But it really got me thinking, you know, we've done these 2 product releases earlier this year. We have added some great stuff to the site, things that I'm really using every single day in my own approach to the market. I know a lot of you are as well. So I wanted to actually use this week's show kind of before that next product launch and at the end of the year. A bit of reflection. We're going to reflect back on some of the things that we have launched this year, tour you around some of my top 5 favorite features that are new to Stock Charts in 2022. Like I said, we're going to kind of dive into these, show you how they work, talk about what they are, but also I'll give you some thoughts on kind of how I'm using them in my own approach to the markets, give you some ideas on how you can use some of these tools as well. So lots to cover on today's show. It really is going to be an action-packed one. Before we get to that, though, I do want to remind everyone, right now, for a limited time only, just this month, another couple of weeks, that's it. We're running our holiday special, something that we do at the end of the year. Whether you're an existing member or you've been thinking about signing up for a new account right now, you can get up to 3 free months of Stock Charts. So let's jump over to the site. We'll take a look at how that special works. Just remind you how that works. Make sure that you know exactly how to get that free 3-month offer. And then, of course, we'll dive into our top 5 features. Here we go. So here we are on our Charts and Tools page. Of course, you can get here by going to the Charts and Tools link at the top left corner. Now, we're going to start here because it's a great directory of all the tools and features that we have. It's also going to lead us right into our What's New page, which will kind of be our jumping off point for today. But before we get to that, like I said, I want to remind everyone how you can get these 3 free months of Stock Charts right now. So you should see a big green banner across the top of the website. If you don't, you might have closed that or it might have disappeared. You can always go to stockcharts.com/. special. That is the link. You can click this little learn more link right in these green banners, but if you're looking to get to the page directly, stockcharts.com/special is going to do it. As we said, though, up to 3 free months of StockCharts right now. When you extend your existing membership, so if you're a current member, you can extend that account out and get those 3 free months. Or if you're a brand new user and you want to sign up for an account for the first time, you can also get up to 3 free months. So if you're looking at one of these big green banners, give that button a click to get started. Or if you actually hit that learn more link, that'll take you over to the sort of landing page for the holiday special. You can read more about exactly what this offer is. But we actually have 2 different deals. So you can sign up for 12 and you'll get 3 months free. Or you can sign up for a shorter term, 6 months, and you'll get 1 month free. So you can learn more about that. Here's that stockcharts.com/special page that I was mentioning. But you can learn more about exactly how this works. You can actually scroll down here, see how much you can save at all of our different subscription levels, service levels. You can see those different offers, and you can also sort of compare some of those different service levels as well. We've got some FAQs to help you learn more about what's going on at the bottom of this page as well. But our support team, of course, is standing by. If you do have any questions, reach out to us. Look for that big orange button down at the bottom of this page. Reach out to the team if you have any questions. We are there to help. But 3 free months, again, only for a limited time right now. Come to this page, hit that big green button, and you will be off to the races. So back on our charts and tools page. Like I said, we're going to go through a couple of my favorite new features that we've rolled out this year. I want to show you how to learn more about some of those things that have been happening around the site, though. So here on the charts and tools page, again, a great directory of everything that is there. You can read more about all of these different tools. And a little tip, starting next week, kind of at the end of next week, this page is actually going to get a big update. You will see more of these things with those big green banners saying new. There's going to be a whole bunch of new features on this page that are going to be listed as new. So you'll actually be able to come here, whether you're a member, whether you're a free user, you'll be able to come to this page, look for all the things that say new, scroll through these cards. There will also be different cards that say new in here as well. So that'll kind of make it obvious, what's been added to the site. But I love to point people to this page because it really is a great, like I said, a great directory. You can scroll through, you can read up on all these different tools, and then of course you can click on any of them. Now at the bottom though, there's an important link that I want you to know about. Down under education and support, there's a card here for what's new. Now the link for this page is really, really easy, stockcharts.com/new. But this is where we update everyone on kind of what's been happening around the site. As you can see, new features, additions, improvements. If it's happening on StockCharts, we're probably going to talk about it here on our What's New page. So for those different product releases that we've done, we've put together these release notes. We've had these kind of highlights here with these big cards on the What's New page, but we've also put together some specific release notes, as we're calling them, to help you learn more about all the features that have rolled out. So our first product launch, we codenamed it Alki. We're actually going alphabetically through the alphabet here, using different areas around the different locations around the Seattle area. So Alki is a beach here in the Seattle area. So that was our first product launch. The next one was Bainbridge, which is an island just outside of Seattle. So fun little nod to where StockCharts is located there. But you can read up on all the features that were released with these different product launches. Tons and tons of stuff. We're going to go through 5 of my favorites on the show today. But what I want to point you to is that you can actually come here, click on any of these, and as you can see, you can read up on these different tools and features that have launched. So we are actually going to preview the release notes that are coming out for that next product launch, which is going to be called Kameno, kind of codenamed Kameno there. At the end of the show today, we'll take a quick look at the release notes page. But for those 2 other product launches that we've done, you do have these very, very helpful resources. So we're going to go through, like I said, 5 of my favorites today, but it really is hard to pick just 5 because we have done a ton on the site this year. Wanted to make sure that you know exactly how you can learn more about all of those different features. So here for Bainbridge as well, these were some of the features that launched there. And as you can see, you actually get these little animated demos. You can read up on what the feature is, and you can click on any of these buttons to quickly access it. So really, really nice to be able to read up on these here from our What's New page. So if you haven't seen this before, definitely spend a little bit of time with it. Now, we are going to dive into our 5 favorites. Like I said, this was actually really hard to do. When I sat down, went back through the list of Alki features and Bainbridge features, it was hard to pick just 5. We have done a ton on the site this year, and we've got some really exciting stuff coming next week. But first and foremost, my favorite thing that we have launched this year has to be scheduled scans. You can read up about that right here. Now, we're going to go through each one of these and actually give you a quick little preview, quick little demo, talk to you about how I am using them. But first up, for each one of these, let's talk about kind of what the feature is. So with scheduled scans, we've given you a way to actually automate your scans to run for you in the background. You can take any of your custom technical scans from your account, and you can schedule those to run at a specific time of your choosing. This is a beautiful thing because if you've got scans that you want to run every day or every week, instead of spending time clicking the buttons and merging the results into the right chart list and saving them and all that stuff, you can set this up. They'll run for you exactly when you want them. Those results will be saved. The scan results will actually be saved to your account. And then you can spend your time reviewing the results instead of clicking buttons and running scans. It's really, really, really helpful. It's been a huge workflow boost for a lot of us. This is something that I am using without fail every single day. I absolutely love this feature. So that is, without question, my first highlight of 2022. So let's actually jump over to the scheduled scans page, and we'll take a look at how this looks. Now, here's the scheduled scans page. By the way, you can get there by going up to this menu in the top right corner. If you're logged into the site, hit that Your Scans link. That'll actually take you over to the scan workbench, but you can see you've got these little tabs across here. So it's a really easy way to get to the scheduled scan workbench. So you're going to click over to scheduled scans. Very, very easy to use. You're going to select a scan from your account, you're going to set your timing, and you're going to set your action. That's pretty much it. So this is not actually where you write your scans. You're going to create those over here on the scan workbench. But once you've actually come up with those technical scans that you like to run, you can schedule those right here on the scheduled scan workbench. So very, very easy. Again, you open up this menu, click one that you want to schedule. Let's say we wanted to schedule this scan from my account. You then select your timing. Now, depending on what country you're in, or if you want a totally custom time, you've got a couple of options. Typically, we want to run our scans either at the open or at the close, for instance, of the US market. So those are 2 options. Typically, I like to run mine at the close. So right after the market closes, my scheduled scans will run. So we're going to select our timing there, whatever you want to do. If you do want a totally custom time though, you can actually set that. Really helpful if you're trading cryptos, for instance. You can set a specific time, or if you just got a specific time of day when you want your scans to run, you can do that here as well. Again, I like to personally use the US market close. So at the end of the day, I get my scans to run. I get the email with all the results. Everything is saved in my account, and I can go in and review those after the close. You could do that at the open. You got lots of choices here. So let's say you wanted to schedule it for the US market close. You then select your action, whether you want to save these results into a new chart list or take an existing chart list from your account and use that. Now you can merge the results into that existing chart list, or you can replace that entire chart list every single day. I actually use both of these options in some different cases, but typically the one that I like to do is actually the merge option. I'll explain why in just a second. Let's say you choose that merge option, then you're going to select exactly which chart list out of your account you want, and then you're going to hit save. And that's it. Your scan is going to be scheduled. Once you've scheduled any of these scans, they will actually show up down here in the scheduled scans table. And they'll start to run automatically for you every day in the background. You no longer have to go over to the scan workbench and select a scan and hit run and get the results. It's not a manual process. once one of these scheduled scans runs, it's going to do that automatically for you in the background. And like I said, it'll actually kick you an email with the results. So you can actually get that in your inbox and kind of breeze through them. But it'll also save those into your own account in the chart list that you select. Beautiful, beautiful feature. Really, really a time saver. So if you actually kind of look down here at the scheduled scans table, we can take a look at kind of how I'm using this. Now, my favorite scans to run are for new highs. I do have, crazy technical scans with lots of criteria. I run those from time to time. But price is the most important technical indicator that we have. People like to forget that, but I'm reminding you, price matters more than anything. So the most bullish thing that a stock can do if you're looking at the long side is make new highs. So typically the things that I like to scan for are actually just new highs at different sort of time periods. All-time highs, 52-week highs, and then I like to break it down by sort of quarters. So I like to scan for 9-month highs, 6-month highs, and 3-month highs. Specifically, I like to scan in the S&P 1500, so that gives me a mix of large, mid, and small caps, all selected by S&P, Standard & Poor's. The S&P 1500 is the 500, 400, and 600 large, mid, small cap indexes, all combined into one. So I like to look for stocks in the S&P 1500 making new highs. That's the sort of the starting place for me. And you can see that reflected in my scheduled scans. So I've got scans for S&P 1500 making new all-time highs, new 52-week highs in here, new 6-month highs. I've also got one down here for new 9-month highs, new 3-month highs. So you can see those are kind of what I am scanning for. Now, every day at the close, as you can see, I've set all of these up to scan at the close. I'm going to merge those results. These scans, remember, are going to run for me automatically in the background at the close. And those results are going to get merged into some chart lists that I've actually created in my account. Now, if you kind of compare these, you can see that they line up. So I'm scanning for S&P 1500 new all-time highs. I've got a chart list that's dedicated to S&P 1500 all-time highs. Now, the results get merged in at the end of the day after they run. That scan is going to run. It's going to merge those results into this list. And so when that happens every day throughout the week, by the time I get to the weekend and I sit down for kind of my end of week review, what I've actually built up is a list of all the stocks in the S&P 1500 that have made a new all-time high at some point in the past week, in the past 5 trading days, and they all get merged into the same chart list. So I actually end up with all of those results automatically in the same chart list. That means that I can go on Friday after the close, or Saturday or Sunday, whenever I'm kind of sitting down at the end of the week to do a nice review, I can sit down, click this chart list, and breeze through a list of stocks in the S&P 1500 that have made a new all-time high. I can do the same thing for 6-month highs, 52-week highs, 3-month highs. I've also got some in here for Dow stocks making new all-time highs, NASDAQ 100 making new all-time highs. You can do this with really anything that you want. But the idea that you're actually merging the results from the same scan into the same chart list throughout the week means that you're kind of building up this list of stocks that have triggered that criteria at some point throughout the week. When you get to the end of the week, it's really nice to be able to review that. So that's kind of how I am personally using the scheduled scans feature. Makes it incredibly easy to review those results, kind of review my favorite scans without having to go remember to run everything every single day. Now, when I jump over to the dashboard and I click on the Your Chart List button, it takes me down to all of the chart lists in my account. You can actually see all of these lists. So here's Dow stocks making all-time highs, ETFs. Actually, I have a couple set up for ETFs making new highs. You can see here all those S&P 1500 lists that I mentioned. And as you can see, this is the number of stocks in each of those lists. These have been kind of building up throughout the week. It's Friday now, a little bit before the close. So after the close today, I can actually go in here and review all of the chart lists here. But I can jump into something like, for instance, S&P 1500 making new 9-month highs. There's 14 stocks in the S&P 1500 that have made a new 9-month high at some point this week. And I've got a list of them right there automatically at the end of the week. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful thing. It's a lot of fun to schedule these, have them automatically for you. So my first favorite feature of 2022 that we have released has got to be scheduled scans, a real awesome feature that we have added to the site. So let's go back to our release notes, and we are going to pull up my second favorite feature. We're going back to that what's new page. The second favorite feature that I wanted to highlight today was actually from our second product launch, that Bainbridge product launch. It was called Chart Panels. So we'll give this a click, open that up. You can see actually the sort of primary feature, one of the big features that we launched over the summer was something called Chart Panels. So the dashboard is actually pretty configurable. We'll show you that in just a second, but we've added another option to the dashboard, which actually, as you can see in this little animation, actually lets you add charts to the dashboard. You can set your dashboard up with a whole bunch of different panels, different configurations. We'll show you that, like I said, in just a minute. But one of the new customizations that you can make is actually bringing charts right into that dashboard. You can have this additional row of charts, and you get to actually set that up exactly how you want. You can have one big chart, you can have two charts sort of splitting the screen, or you can have three charts going across. Personally, as you're going to see, I have three charts. Again, we talked about the S&P 1500, talked about how I like to think of large, mid, and small cap indexes. So that's actually how I've set my dashboard up. I've got large, mid, and small caps across the screen. So very, very cool, this new feature. To show that off, let's actually jump right over to the dashboard. So here we are on the dashboard. Now, if you're a free user, you might not know what this page is. This is kind of the heart and soul of your StockCharts account, though it's the first page you see when you log in. Has a ton. We kind of already showed this off there when I jumped over to it for the chart list stuff, but has a ton here. Gives you kind of access to all of the different tools and features over here on the left, but you can really set this page up with pretty much anything that you want. As you can see, I've actually set this up with chart panels down a little bit lower. So we'll talk about that. The key though to customizing your dashboard really kind of starts up here in the top right corner. So before we show you the chart panels, this is actually where we're going to start. You've got a gears icon in the top right corner. When you give that a click, this is your dashboard preferences window. This is where you get to choose exactly what you want on the dashboard. Now I've loaded mine up with quite a lot. As you can see, I've got an additional row of data panels. I've got chart list panels that should give me kind of a summary of specific lists from my account. I've also selected the chart panels row, and I've got scans and alerts turned on. You can even turn on a commentary row, which actually gives you articles and StockCharts TV right here on your dashboard. To access the chart panels though, come into this dashboard preferences window, make sure that chart panels is checked, and then hit save. So when you do that, you will see an additional row appear on your dashboard down here. Now, mine is set up the way that mine is set up. Yours is going to look a little bit different when you set it up. But when you first set this up, you're basically going to choose a chart, and you have a couple of different options. I've set mine up, like I said, with large caps, mid caps, and small caps across the screen. And I've done one little trick, which I'll show you to make this nice and easy. I've kind of formatted these specifically for my dashboard because I know that this is what I want. To set any of these up though, let's give the large cap ones a click. You're basically going to have a window that looks like this. You've got two options for setting up these charts. You can either choose a save chart from your account, something that you already have, or you can select a new chart, brand new chart, any ticker symbol that you want, and any chart style from your account. So let's start with the new chart option just because we've got it up on the screen. Really simple to do this. You're going to type in a ticker symbol. Let's say you want Microsoft, and then you're going to select a chart style that you've saved to your account. So any chart style from your account, you can give that a click, hit update, and that chart is going to appear right here on the dashboard. We can actually see how that works. So I've selected a chart style from my account. I've selected Microsoft. This is going to tell me the symbol name, and it's going to tell me that chart style right in the name there. Super easy. You could even flip through different charts if you kind of want to use this as a little bit of a charting on the go kind of thing. Let's say you wanted to switch it to Netflix, type that in, hit update. There you go. Now you got a Netflix chart right on the screen. You also have the ability to maximize any of these to kind of see them in full screen mode. So now you get the full size chart, and then when you're ready, you can just hit that X, drop it back down. So kind of nice to be able to use this as a little bit of a charting on the go feature here on the dashboard. It really is intended to be kind of a set it and forget it type of thing. Set something up exactly how you want to see it, and then it's there for you to review when you want it. But if you do want to use it on the fly, you can do that. The other option that you have, though, is to select something that is saved to your account. So this is where we can talk a little bit about how I'm using this feature. I've set this up with a specific chart list in my account. You can see I've got that selected right here. I've actually created a chart list in my account called Dashboard Charts. So I can come into that chart list, Dashboard Charts, and as you can see here, I've actually saved a couple of charts into this chart list, and I've set those up specifically in a specific size with a specific number of indicators, all of that, so that they're kind of formatted for the dashboard. So we could choose VTI if I actually wanted the total market. We can hit update, and you can see we now have a chart that kind of looks like the other ones, but a chart of VTI here in this panel. Again, I like to have large, mid, and small caps going across the screen. So at a quick glance, as I'm scrolling through the dashboard, kind of seeing what's going on in the markets, I have a sense of kind of what some of the major cap tiers are doing. But VTI kind of similar to large caps, really kind of trades similarly to SPY. But we can actually put that large cap chart back. So I've got my dashboard exactly how I typically have it. But that's kind of my suggestion for you. Create a chart list in your account, set up a couple of charts that you want on the dashboard, and you can customize the settings and things on those to be sort of specific for the dashboard. In my case, for instance, you can see that I've customized the size of these charts for sort of a 3 across layout. If I blow this up, you can see it's actually a pretty small chart, and it's really formatted so that it looks pretty good here on the dashboard. So you can actually configure these, sort of customize a set of charts, put those in a chart list, and then use that here on your dashboard. By the way, if you do ever want to slim this down, you can hit the little minus if you've got 3 across, or you can hit the plus to kind of get things back. So if we wanted to take this small cap chart off, now you can see we've got 2 across because I deleted basically that small caps chart. If you want to add it back, all you got to do is hit the plus, and that chart panel option is going to pop back up for you. So we can now come through here, select dashboard charts out of my account. I got a ton of chart lists, so it's kind of hard to find. But there we go. We've selected that chart list, selected that chart. Now we got our small caps chart back. So chart panels on the dashboard, another great way to customize this page. Again, you can set this page up in really any way to be a pretty powerful market dashboard. We've talked about this on the show in the past, but I've set mine up so that I've got the market overview here in the middle. I've got sectors right next to that. Then I have some of the stocks that are moving the market, S&P 500 and S&P 400 right here. I've also got the ticker cloud in this group as well. And then down below, I do have 2 chart lists, 2 important chart lists from my account. But then down below that, I've got those chart panels. So I can quickly see, what's happening in the markets. I can see large caps kind of lost that 200-day, that green line. Mid caps, though, still holding that 200-day. And small caps really struggling with it, trading below that 200-day today. I can see that right from my dashboard. And then compare that to some of the things that I'm seeing up here on the sector summary or in the market overview. Really nice to be able to make this page a valuable market resource. So that is our second stop on the tour today. Now, we are getting low on time, so we're going to have to speed up. We're going to really fly here. But our third important option, 5 new intraday chart periods. That's another one that we released in Bainbridge, something that I am a huge fan of. Very, very cool here. In either ACP or Sharp Charts, you now have 5 new intraday chart periods. This is actually a great place to show it off. We're not really going to jump over to a Sharp Chart, show you how this works. Again, this exists in both Sharp Charts and in ACP. So with whichever charting platform you are in, you will have these new chart period options. But if you're interested in looking at some of the intraday action, this is a feature that you're definitely going to want to know about, something that I am really enjoying using in my own account. Let's talk briefly about kind of where this came from. Hourly charts have always been popular, right? People want to split the trading day into something that's smaller than a daily chart. They want to dig into the intraday action, but they don't want to go all the way down to something like a minute-to-minute chart or a 5 or 10-minute chart. So hourly charts have been kind of an answer for a long time. It's sort of classic technical analysis. That means that each bar is going to represent 1 hour of trading. Now that creates an issue though. With hourly charts, there is one glaring issue. The trading day is not an even number of hours. There's a 30-minute period at the end that's left over. And so what you have when you create an hourly chart is actually a whole bunch of bars that aren't necessarily the same. There's this last bar that actually doesn't represent as much trading as the other bars. Now, if you're picky like me, that's a problem. I don't like that, especially if you're thinking about, volume. If you're trying to compare volume across those bars, for instance, that last volume, the volume on that last 30-minute period at the end of the day is kind of wonky. You can't really trust it. So we've been bothered by this for a long time, and we've talked to a lot of other expert technicians that have also been bothered by this. And so what we did earlier this year was we sat down and we said, okay, enough is enough. This is ridiculous. Hourly charts make no sense for stocks. They make a ton of sense for cryptocurrencies, where we've actually left support for those hourly bars. But for stocks, they don't really make a ton of sense. So we sat down and we said, how can we fix this? Well, the solution is to take that trading day and divide it equally. Figure out what number we need to divide the trading day equally. Now, a lot of people gravitate towards hourly bars because the number makes sense to them. 60 minutes, it's a nice, even, round number. People like it. It makes sense, right? 1 hour, 60 minutes, makes sense. There's that problem, though, with that last minute bar, or that last 30-minute bar at the end of an hourly day. When you divide the trading day equally, you don't necessarily end up with numbers that make quite as much sense off the bat. But when you think about them in terms of the number of bars per day, they make a ton of sense. So we've added these 5 new intraday chart period options for stocks. This is specifically for equities and equity indexes, things like that, ETFs, stocks, that kind of stuff. All of these, though, divide the trading day equally. The way that we list them in the menus as well is by the number of minutes that each bar represents, but we also tell you how many bars per day that equates to. So those new options are 39 minutes, which is 10 bars per day, 65 minutes, which is 6 bars per day, 78 minutes, which is 5 bars per day, 130, 3 bars per day, and 195 minutes, 2 bars per day. That one's just going to divide the trading day into 2 bars. Really, really love having these on the site. We've got great feedback to them. People have really appreciated this. If you're using hourly charts, you can actually just jump up to a 65-minute chart. That's going to divide that trading day into 6 equal bars. It's going to even things out, and it's going to be a very, very similar chart experience to those hourly charts that you have been using. If you've been using 30-minute charts, well, you might want to jump up to 39-minute charts. That's going to divide the trading day into 10 equal bars. You've got all these options. Very, very cool to have those in here. So again, for stocks, for ETFs, for equity indexes, for anything that trades on sort of an equity schedule, you are going to have these new options. For anything that's on a 24-hour schedule, cryptocurrencies, you're actually not going to have any of these options because they really don't make a ton of sense. The whole point is that they're dividing the trading day equally. When you have something on a 24 schedule, it doesn't quite make any sense. So we've actually taken those out. But if you are looking at intraday action, definitely take a look at the new intraday periods for stocks that divide the trading day equally, a favorite feature of mine from that Bainbridge release. Now, next up, we are going to talk about symbol summary view, and we're going to talk about performance view. So we're going to do those kind of in one go. But earlier this year, actually kind of spread between these 2 releases, we released 2 new views earlier this year for StockCharts. That's performance view and symbol summary view. And we've got equivalents for those in ACP as well. So we're going to jump over to StockCharts. We'll take a look at the chart list views over there. Then we'll actually jump over to ACP, take a quick look at that as well. So we'll scroll up here and we are going to jump over to the dashboard, hit that chart list button one more time, and we're going to scroll down to our StockCharts chart lists. So for your chart lists here in StockCharts, if you're using StockCharts, you've got a whole bunch of different views for any of those lists. So for instance, here's one of my watch lists. I can open up this menu and here are all the different views that I have available to me. Things like summary view, which brings in kind of traditional price data and other factors. Things like chart list view or chart book view, if you want to click through the charts for everything in this list. But we've continued to add to this, and we've actually got a new view coming out next week that we're going to add as well. The 2 that we've added, though, earlier this year are symbol summary and performance view. So let's jump over and take a look at those. We'll start with symbol summary view. Now, last year, 2 years ago maybe, we released a tool called Symbol Summary. You can actually access this from the menu at the top of the screen, select Symbol Summary right there and type in a ticker symbol. It's intended to really be kind of a high level overview. If you're just starting to research a new stock, for instance, you're researching Caterpillar, this Symbol Summary view has been a fan favorite for a long time. Gives you kind of a sense of something overall, not just focused on the chart, but also brings in fundamental metrics, different technical metrics, and kind of a table layout, gives you a small chart right there. This Symbol Summary page also has after hours data. It's got little earnings markers. There's a ton on here. Brings in scooter visualizations. It even gives you a sort of a corporate profile, what this company is, how big they are, sector, industry, that kind of thing. Shows you predefined scans that this stock has triggered, shows you any alerts that you've set for it, and shows you all of the chart lists where you've actually saved this symbol into your own account. Symbol Summary is a fantastic tool, and earlier this year we brought it to chart lists as well. So you now have this view for any of the chart lists in your account, whether it's a watch list, a portfolio, anything that you have created, you can actually pull up the Symbol Summary view for that chart list. It's the exact same Symbol Summary page that we've had for a long time, but the one addition is this menu right up at the top and the previous and next buttons. So what this allows you to do is actually jump to any specific chart in a list without having to type in that ticker symbol manually. You can even just simply click through that list using those previous and next buttons. So it makes it very, very easy to take advantage of all the features on that Symbol Summary page in a chart list without having to kind of manually type anything in. A very, very cool feature, especially for things like earnings dates, getting these little mini charts, after hours data. Again, all of that is here on the Symbol Summary page. If you are looking at this page either before the market opens or after it closes, by the way, you will have after hours data right here. This kind of page, this page kind of gets a little update before and after the market closes. So Symbol Summary View has been a fan favorite this year, something that I personally use a ton. Really, really nice, again, for portfolios, also really nice for watch lists. Now, another one that we added was Performance View. That's another tool that we've talked about on the show, something that I use a ton in my own approach. So again, any of your chart lists, you can open them up in Performance View. What that's going to show you, as you can see, is everything in the list, how they've performed over all of these different time periods. So 1 day performance, 5 day, 1 month, 3 month, 6 month, year to date, and 1 year performance. You can pull up an entire list of symbols and start to compare how things have done over these different time periods. Now, all of these are sortable as well. So if you want to sort by 1 month performance from high to low, you can just give that header a click and you are sorting now by 1 month performance. If you want to flip it upside down, just give it another click. That's going to reverse sort that. Now you're sorting by the laggards all the way up to the leaders. You can do that with any of these time periods. If you want to sort by year-to-date performance, for instance, just give that a click. Really, really nice to be able to compare all of these different performance numbers across these different sort of classic time periods. If you're looking at something like all of the stocks in the S&P 500, you want to find out, well, what's the biggest gainer year to date? Well, create a chart list in your account with all the S&P 500 stocks. You can pull that up here in Performance View and sort by year to date. There you go. If you're looking at your portfolio or you're looking at a watch list, again, if you want to see, what's the biggest gainer of the stocks and funds that I own in my own account, you can put all of your positions into a portfolio chart list, into a chart list in your own account called Portfolio, bring it up in Performance View, use that to actually see how things that you own have done, what's worked, what hasn't over all of these different time periods. Very, very cool. Now, there's one other important feature with this page as well. You actually have the ability to use this as kind of a relative strength measurement. So you can come up to the Compare To box in the top right corner, type in something like SPY, for instance, and you can hit Enter. That's going to reformat all of the performance numbers in this table against the S&P 500 or whatever benchmark you type into the box at the top. So if you actually want to use this page to think about relative performance, not just what's gone up, what's gone down, but what's gone up relative to a benchmark, what's lagged a specific benchmark, you can type in a symbol, again, reformat this page on the fly. And now instead of looking at just sort of standard performance numbers, you can actually see what's outperformed and what's underperformed. Very, very cool. You can use this to actually see relative strength over all of these different time periods. Find the true leaders, find the true laggards. Again, for watch list, portfolios, you name it, you can use Performance View to do all of that. So with that out of the way, let's jump over to ACP really quick, and we'll give you that preview of some of the things that are coming out starting next week with our next release. Here we are over in ACP. I actually cheated a little bit, had this open in a new tab, but just wanted to show you how a couple of these features work in ACP. For some of those intraday chart periods, you can access those right up at the top using the menu right here. You can see we've got all of those listed out, and again, they tell you the number. They also tell you the number of bars per day. So give any of these a click. You can access those intraday chart periods right from the menu at the top of this screen. Very, very easy to access those. For symbol summary view and for performance view here in ACP, you can actually use kind of a combination of features. So down at the bottom, the ACP drawer is where your chart lists live. You can also access chart lists on the right side of the screen, but you can access all of your chart lists from right here at the bottom of the screen. So for instance, we're looking at S&P 500 stocks. This is a chart list that I've created. You can select any list from your own account though, down here in the drawer in ACP. You can see that we have some tabs going right across the top here. One of those is performance. So if we select performance right from this tab, we're looking at exactly the same thing that we were just looking at with Sharp Charts. Again, you've got that compare to box, but you can see all of those different performance numbers for everything in a chart list here in ACP. You can click on any of these to sort, sort by high to low, sort by low to high. All of those are right here for you in the drawer. So very, very nice to be able to access this down at the bottom of the screen as well for any of your ACP chart lists. Now, if you click over to Summary View, you can do one little trick here in ACP. We've got the symbol summary built into ACP as a sidebar option. So you can actually give that little file icon a click, and over on the right side of the screen, you'll see symbol summary open up over there. Now you can combine this with the drawer to actually sort of create symbol summary view for a chart list. So we're looking at a chart list in my account, and I can give any of these a click to simply open up a chart of that symbol. The symbol summary sidebar is going to follow along with whatever's on the screen, whatever's being charted at the moment. So that means I can actually sort of click through this chart list, and that symbol summary sidebar will update over on the side of the screen as well. All the same features, corporate profile, scooter rank, technicals, fundamentals, it's all here in that symbol summary sidebar as well. So you can start to click through this list, and as you can see, it'll sort of follow along. So that's how you can basically use the drawer and the sidebar in ACP to kind of recreate that symbol summary view for any of your chart lists. Now, we're going to jump back outside of ACP. We're going to head over to a little exclusive preview. I want to show you some of the things that are coming next week, starting next week, to StockCharts. So no one has seen this. You are the first people to see it. And we have blanked out some of these features, so you don't get to see them quite yet. But some of the things that are coming out starting next week, we're going to be rolling things out. Of course, we're going to have lots of announcements here on the show, also in our newsletter as well. But lots of exciting things coming to StockCharts starting next week. First and foremost, we are bringing out an official StockCharts mobile app for iOS devices. Very, very excited to have that. It's going to let you as a StockCharts member flip through your charts on the go, see what's happening, real-time data, lots and lots of cool stuff in that mobile app. We're also bringing out a very cool earnings calendar for reported earnings, also upcoming earnings. Next earnings season, you're going to be able to track all of that right here on StockCharts. Very excited to bring more earnings data to the site, and this new earnings calendar is really going to give you a big boost. We're also bringing more options data to the site. So we're going to have a new options tool that's going to allow you to type in any symbol, see all the options contract information that you need for that symbol, all the contracts branching off of an underlying security. You're also going to have a chart list view, kind of similar to symbol summary view for options. So very cool stuff there. Scheduled scans are getting another boost. You're actually going to be able to set specific days and days of the week in addition to times. So you'll be able to control your scheduled scans even more. Can't wait to show you that one. We're bringing out 2 cool new things, a sample chart gallery to help you get up and running with new chart ideas. We're going to put a ton of stuff in there. You can browse through and use any of those chart templates. Very, very cool. Also, same concept with a scan library coming to the site as well. So you can actually browse that and see scans that you can save into your own account, run those quickly. Lots of cool stuff coming there. Of course, we've got some cool ACP features rolling out as well. Detached annotation panels, maximized indicator panels, some very cool stuff coming to ACP, of course. And we've got even more down at the bottom. So keep an eye out for more on all of these tools and features coming to the site very soon, but you can get excited. This is kind of our first exclusive sneak peek at some of the things that are coming next month with our next week with what we're calling our Kameno release. So that is going to do it on the show today. A long one. We slogged through quite a lot, but hopefully this has given you some fun ideas for ways to customize your own account, ways to get more out of some of these things that we have done this year. It has been a big, big year for us here at StockCharts. It's been a year of change, a year of growth, a year of new features, and we are excited to deliver even more in 2023 as well. So we got this new product launch coming out next week, but of course, we're also going to have more stuff coming in 2023. Some huge plans, big things coming to Sharp Charts, big things coming to scanning, of course, ACP as well. Tons and tons rolling out next year as well. So this is going to be the place to hear about it. StockCharts in Focus every Friday, 3 p.m. Eastern Time. We dive into the site, we dig into the features, we help you get more value out of StockCharts. That's our mission here. Also up on the YouTube channel after that, don't forget. My name is Grayson Roze, Vice President of Operations here at StockCharts.com. Thank you so much for watching. Remember, go get your 3 free months of StockCharts, limited time only. Look for those green banners across the top of the site. Definitely keep an eye out for that. But we'll see you next week for another edition of the show. Until then, chart on, my friends.
Hey guys, Dave Keller here with StockCharts.com. Thanks so much for watching our video. If you enjoyed it, and we hope you did, hit the like button right below. Also, we have so much new content every day. Consider subscribing to the channel. Just hit the subscribe button in the video or right below. Thanks for watching. Stay safe. Have a fantastic day.